Give an example from your life of how you achieved an objective.
How I achieved an objective. Let's see. Well, I guess it kind of started when I was like 2, and I would always play on my father's laptop, and I just kind of started learning basic computer knowledge over the years, and it became to the point where I would always help my parents with computer stuff, help friends with computer stuff by the time I was in middle school, and it just kind of escalated from there as like a goal kind of thing.
What happens when you think you're going to fail and you actually succeed?
When you think you're going to fail and you actually succeed, it's always that feeling of relief, like you're going down a roller coaster and you just hit that mark where you're going back up, and it's just that good feeling, and it's always just like a good feeling. Like even like, I guess a good example would also be like just any sort of public speaking. You always feel nervous when public speaking, but then like the moment you do it and the moment you're done, you just feel like, oh, I nailed it, or I did good, kind of thing.
Why is creative expression important to you?
Creative expression is important to me because I like to view like it's like it defines you. Like creative expression, it shows who you. It's like your own watermark kind of thing. Like someone like hears your work, sees your work, and they're just like, yeah, that's that person.
Give an example of an obstacle that you've experienced. How did you overcome this obstacle?
An obstacle I've experienced is back when I was in middle school, I was starting to get into I was starting to take like film classes and stuff, and I would always work with people, and since it was middle school, it was just always very lackluster people, and I would always have to pull work left and right, and I just kind of started coming up with ideas that like I could start pulling this off with by myself or just one person, and even though people were just like being lazy and still getting credit, I'm like, I pulled this off. I'm okay with that.
List the things that you bring to the table that define your uniqueness.
What I would bring to the table is I feel like I'm a very hard worker. I also feel like I'm a very relaxed person, but at the same time I could be so to speak, a morale booster to the crew. Like I feel like I can bring a good energy.
All right. What has been your source of inspiration?
Ever since I was like 5, maybe 6, I just would always watch cartoons and stuff and just other TV shows, and it's just I would just always love watching things, and I would start like wanting to learn more about like the ins and outs of how things are made, kind of thing.
What kind of voice acting or audio field would you like to get into, and why?
I would like to get into actual voice acting, like as a character, become a character, and just work with animations and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind working with commercials as well, though.
All right. When is the last time you learned a new skill?
Last time I learned a new skill, I think it was actually last year when I was starting to learn about audio mixing, and I just kind of started. I've always had a sort of an eye for audio mixing. Like I would always do like basic audio stuff in like simple video editing programs, but then when I got to actual audio programs, I started like just figuring it out right away and just like getting a good handle on all of them.
If you couldn't get into this field, what would you be doing as a backup?
If I didn't end up making it into this field overall, I'd probably currently I work at In-N-Out. I've been working there for about 3 years. It's just like kind of having a good customer service kind of thing. I'd probably see myself reaching management there and just carrying a crew kind of thing.
All right. When was the moment you decided to enter this field?
The exact moment when I felt like I should get into a voice acting field was, I would say it's probably around my first year of working at In-N-Out, because before I started working there, I was a very like closed off, shy person, and that kind of broke my shell just working there. And as I started like enunciating more and being louder as a person, people were like, "Hey, I really like your voice. You should do this." And I'm like, "Okay, you know what? I'll give it a shot," kind of thing.
All right. Well, you're hired.